know, Strider events have kind of always been a part of Strider. At that time we called them Strider rodeos because having a bunch of 2- and 3-year-olds on bikes kind of felt like a rodeo. So when we got into production and started marketing the bikes, because people really didn't know what they were, you really had to demonstrate the bikes.
To get people to understand Strider, you needed to see the kids on the bikes, you know. Pretty simple. And you can do that to a certain extent with video, but it doesn't come across like actual mom or dad seeing their kid on the bike, and kind of immediately you can see the progress or potential, you know, that can be had with kind of a Strider bike.
So we started with what became known as Strider Adventure Zones. We just set up little demo courses and show up at an event with a fleet of bikes and try and encourage little kids to get on and give it a go. And it didn't really kick off big until probably 2010, and that was our distributor in Japan. They really went to town in the culture in Japan, and I think maybe just the population density of Tokyo really fed into their racing programs taking off, because there were a lot of people then meeting at the park, and so they kind of pioneered a lot of the bigger Strider Cup races.
Because there's kind of two paths. It was sort of the adventure zones and greater exposure, and kind of our race series for the most part. The adventure zones kind of, we started to build that out kind of nationally. You know, soon enough, I think it became obvious that there was a lot of resources involved in kind of going around the country and doing all these things, and it was good, but at a certain point we was like, well, let's cull back on that and start to just focus on our Strider Cup races. Let's just take them in-house.
So then we started working on the idea of we need to spread this globally and kind of standardize the rules for it and the classes and everything, so that as we add more and more countries, we can have these Strider Cup races all over the world. And then that led to, well, if we're going to do that, then we got to have a Strider Cup World Championship.
You know, everything had to go through its own, the whole cycle. You know, we've built up to where we're at today with our Strider Cup races, and that too was kind of a long evolution of, you know, smaller cities up to where we're at today, which is major metropolitan areas, big markets, downtown city centers, and really choosing where we want to go and doing the things we want to do and giving the impression and presentation that it has become today, which I would argue is pretty successful.
The first Strider Cup World Championship was in Sarasota, Florida, and the race was over. It was the day after, and we just had a fun day on the beach planned with all the participants. And so we had a bunch of families from Japan, and then families from different areas of the United States. We had some people up from Central America and South America, and we're building this giant sandcastle, and there's all these little kids participating in it. And at one point I kind of stepped back, and a number of us were standing there watching them, and they're all just talking away, but they're speaking like 5 different languages. And it was just this cool moment where you realize that, wow, we've brought all these little kids together from different areas of the world. You know, I guess you're breaking down barriers. They're speaking different languages. They can't understand each other, but they're having fun together. They see each other as friends, and they're building a castle and all cooperating. And you think, you know, this is just cool. This is just great for all these people. And it was the parents too, but the kids just kind of showcased it on that little sandcastle project, that coming together and doing something fun with people from all these different areas is just, you know, a good thing, a positive thing for our world.